We're still here at the Bourne Stadium after Merstham got through in the FA Trophy by virtue of a 3-2 thriller over Ashford Town, Middlesex. I say thriller, it's been 3-3, 4-3 and 3-2 today. I'm going to pick the bones out of it with Jamie. Jay, yeah, I mean, looking at it all on paper, obviously for neutrals it would be very thrilling, but what's your takeaway after those 3 games and all those goals at both ends of the pitches?
Yeah, well, I've definitely got a few more grey hairs after this week. Great that we're scoring goals. Great that we've averaged 3 goals a game so far, which is obviously should be good enough to win a lot of games of football. 3 goals is brilliant. And we're really pleased with where those goals are coming from. A lot of our new signings are getting involved, and we look dangerous. First half of every game so far, we've looked like we could score, but then it's everything else. And we spoke about it the other day. We don't want to risk becoming expansive and really good at scoring goals if you're shipping the other way, and that's the balance we've got to try and work hard to get right.
Would it be fair today to say that if we got in the break at 2-0, obviously the Haas penalty decision got converted by their number 9, it maybe would have given the boys a little bit more sort of self-confidence and belief to actually push on and maybe win it by 3 or 4?
Yeah, and I said that to the boys at half time. I said, we've got to accept this done, but what we can't do now is capitulate or allow things we can't necessarily control. I thought the ref had an okay game overall, but I think that decision's mental. I don't think anyone in the ground appealed for it. But that's what we're up against at the moment. It feels stuff like that isn't necessarily going our way, and that's fine. That's football, and teams do feel like that. So you've got to try and override that. I also felt that maybe there's a little bit of trauma within the group after last week. Leading 4 times and then still losing a cup replay becomes a little bit traumatic, certainly for the management and of course the players as well. So you go 2-0 up at half time, you reset, you have a breather, we change 1 or 2 things. I know they obviously made quite a few changes and obviously changed shape at half time because, to be fair to Tufts, obviously weren't happy, and I think whenever you do that, you get some sort of desired effect in terms of, as a minimum, you're going to run around and try and change the feel of the game. And I think for us, we probably dealt with the fact we got the 3rd goal at a good time, and then we were hoping to kick on. But of course, in our fashion of the last week, we seem to give Rapham a goal minutes after again, and it's something that if we can get right, and that's the positive, we can get right and we start managing moments better, then we're going to be a really exciting team this year. But we just got to make sure we don't lose a big part of what we've been about the last couple of years, which is always defensively quite solid.
Yeah. What things are you going to take away from these 3 games to work on in training to that point then?
Well, I think there were some really good individual performances today. Firstly, I thought Gil had another really good game for us, obviously contributing with his goal and an assist. I thought it was great having Ollie Allen back in the side. Ollie's been a bit sporadic pre-season in terms of his availability and probably where he wants to be, but having him back in there definitely gave us some security, and maybe he tired towards the end, which probably coincided with our lack of control, but he getting him fit and up to scratch will be a big thing for us, and the same applies to Clem. Yeah. First game Clem's played again for 6 weeks now, got through it, probably in a little bit of pain. We'll see how he is tomorrow, but having the left back in his slot and defending will be a massive boost. So people need to remember we've got 7 new players in that squad, so we're in a little bit of a transition period, completely different to pre-season when you're playing but the games mean nothing. You want to win and build good habits, but in terms of the actual feeling of a game, they mean nothing. You're not fighting for 3 points, you're not hanging on for dear life. You accept pre-season is what it is, but now the real stuff starts. The group needs to learn how to deal with adversity, how to manage games, how to control games with the ball, without the ball, and that's what we're going to be focusing on over the next upcoming months, really. We need to try and get the balance better.
Absolutely. I know it's really early on in the season, but do you feel like a little bit of a weight has been lifted now that we've got the first victory under our belts?
Yeah, and there's been many managers yesterday who are 2-3 games in who haven't won, and you kind of like, you don't want to get stuck in a rut. So win a game. We obviously drew the first game. I didn't see that as a loss. We drew the first game, we lost the second game, and we won today. So we need to, I just said to the boys, enjoy winning games, because last year we didn't enjoy winning games enough last year. I think we become too used to winning from maybe the year before with the playoffs. I don't think you can ever get used to winning, but I think where we got into good habits, certainly from Christmas onwards. I think we lost 2 games in 16 in that last period of season. And we really enjoyed those wins, and then we went into last year knowing that we had a bit more of a bounty on our back and teams wanted to beat us. so when we won games, we didn't really appreciate how hard it was to win games. And winning games of football is the toughest thing. It's what we all strive for in the week. It's what we all aim for. And when you win it, you should enjoy it. It's good to hear them actually singing and dancing and celebrating, because they should. And hopefully we can use it to kick on a little bit now.
Yeah, absolutely. Just final question. The draw for the FA Trophy will be made in due course, but we've got some league action coming up. We've got 2 games at home on Wednesday and Saturday at time of recording. Are you looking forward to getting stuck into the meat and gravy of the Isthmian South East?
Yeah, been a bit weird to start the season with 3 cup games. So, we've played 3 games and none of them have been for points. So, a little bit strange. Obviously being here. I know I alluded to it last time, but it's not home, is it? The atmosphere isn't home. The surroundings aren't home, and we're really appreciative of Sevenoaks. But yeah, we just got to get into the right mix now, the right rhythm, and try and just get points on the board this first month. And we'll be back at home within, 5, 6, 7 weeks potentially. And then, we want to be in a position where we can really push on. So yeah, overall, good to get a first win. Tufts, I wish Ashford all the best this year, and Tufts, because lovely people and that transition from step 5 to step 4, I think they do really, really well. And he probably weren't overly happy today. And it's, maybe that's because of the first half, but they reacted really well second half. And if they play like that, they gave us problems, they'll be fine.
Fine words. Jamie, thanks for joining us as always. As I say, Peacehaven and Telscombe are here on Wednesday night, and then we're playing Stenning Town on the 22nd of August as well. Kick off 3 o'clock for that one. Do come down and support the boys. You're guaranteed goals at the moment.